Let's shift our attention to today's big topic, repositioning Tvet for Nigeria's construction industry. Now, despite efforts to expand vocational training, many industries, including construction, still struggle to find skilled workers. How do we bridge this gap? What role can industry leaders play in shaping a more effective Tvet system? To help unpack these questions, I'm joined by Ibrahim Iyama, the CEO of Equilog Technology or Technical Services Limited, a key player in the heavy-duty construction sector. Ibrahim, great to have you on Business Insight on Plus TV Africa.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, it's been a while though. Tvet has been around for decades, yet the impact seems, well, I say, limited. From your perspective in the construction industry, what are the major gaps in Nigeria's vocational training system?
Okay. I will, first of all, thank you for taking out time to focus on this sector of the industry, which is very, very immense potentials to eradicate youth unemployment in Nigeria and let me say in Africa as a whole. Looking at the youth population, you see, there has been, a gradual inconsistencies in government policies and its implementation. Looking back to 1983, when the 6334 educational system was, inaugurated, it was a bold step to, bring about the dual system of vocational, maybe bridging the formal and informal sector in a formal way, such that, okay, basic primary education of 6 years is guaranteed for every Nigerian, then followed by a vocational education of 3 years, the mixed education of 3 years from education, then a minimum of 4 years tertiary education. Now, even if the youth or the pupil is unable to fulfill the last 3, 4, that is senior secondary education and university, with the skill gained from the 6 and 3 is enough for you to become an artisan and to be well grounded to pursue a skill that is capable of feeding you. So you are equipped to do, even if it's, a tannery, leather work, even if it's plumbing, So if subsequent administration have invested and continue with that 6334 policy, Nigeria will have no problem with unemployment. Nigeria will have no problem with a food crisis. Nigeria will have the agricultural sector alone is able to feed the whole of West Africa, if not Africa. Looking at the population, looking at the youth population, looking at the landmass, looking at the kind of natural resources that we have in Nigeria. The other policy is the policy of exporting cocoa bean, exporting raw materials in its raw. That is, agricultural sector alone has the potential to employ more than 20 billion Nigerian youths. If we have the processing industries domiciled in Nigeria. So these are valuable policies that, if well researched, implemented, using industry experts to build these policies, you will see that Nigeria will be exporting talent.
Okay, from all that I've gotten so far, from all that you have said, is that the other administration that came, afterwards did not really focus so much on, the 664 policy, as in, funding and putting all that needs to be done for vocational education. But that notwithstanding, young people I speak with most of the times, they tend to see technical education more like a last resort. Other people would rather just get into school. At the end of the day, they just feel that it's to look for the 9 to 5 white collar, as it were, and not really doing all the hard jobs, as it were.
Good. Now, what is the aftermath? The aftermath is that we have a lot of young graduates that are unfit for the industries. Our curriculum is outdated, Mr. Justin. Our curriculum is outdated. Number two, we have technical colleges, we have technical institutes in Nigeria, but what is the depth of technology in those technical institutes? Who are the instructors there? They don't have instructors, number one. Number two, there is low coverage of, there's low awareness because there is no information. As I speak to you, graduates who have had their disappointment in the formal sector, they are coming to the informal sector. They are coming into these vocational skills to equip themselves with vital skills. And it's most, unfortunate that these young men haven't seen how valuable these skills are and how they are monetized abroad. They see no future here in Nigeria for the vocational skill. They travel, they jackpot with the skills. I make boast to tell you that the skill sector is one of the in-demand sector in Nigeria. That companies are coming to us to ask us, please give us 115 forklift operators. The manufacturing sector, the breweries, the distilleries, all of them, they leverage on these skills. So it is if a youth can say they don't see a future in the vocational skill sectors because they don't have the know-how, they don't have the awareness, and they still see the vocational industry as the traditional industry where you have to go under the vehicle, where you have to go under the sun to learn this thing. But we at Equilog, we've been able to leverage technology, data technology, to simplify these learning processes. We start in the classroom section where we demystify the different parts of this machinery, the functions of this machinery, how to troubleshoot, and the safety or hazards associated with it. So having these skills, putting you through this process, you are motivated. You see video lessons while in classroom, you see how this machine is operated, you see the principles that this machine is run by, and you are confident that you can do this. To the extent that even the females are coming on board.
I was going to even get into that now, because ordinarily one would think that when we talk about heavy duty construction equipment and all of that is just a thing for the men folk to handle. But in recent times, I even saw some videos that you sent. I saw women actively involved in, the caterpillars, forklifts, and all of that. So is it something that just anyone can come and?
Mr. Justin, all you need is to be able to read and write. That is all we require from you. I'm telling you, there is a success story we have on YouTube. Blessing Edin. She's a single mother of two. She was depressed after losing her job as a sales agent. And she saw one of our adverts where a lady was operating a forklift machine in an industrial warehouse. Immediately, she put a call across. Today, Blessing Edin is an award-winning multi-skilled machinery operator at CFAX. She operates tractor. So, you see, industries are tired and weary of playing from the roadside. So, imagine young graduates coming on board to acquire this skill. They will remain just a forklift operator, but there is vast career progression opportunities for them to become plant managers, warehouse supervisors. So people see it as a demeaning job, but that is where the money is now. That is where the money is. That is what kept us in the industry. Remember, we have been on this show before for heavy equipment business, but because of shortage of forex, because of the kind of policy inconsistencies we talk about, there is no way our investors, our foreign importers, could repatriate their money in dollars. So they stop bringing in equipment for us to sell. And immediately we have companies who, please come give me operators. With business intelligence, we knew that, wow, there is a opportunity, there is a gap to be filled. Immediately we swung into action. We converted all this machinery. Instead of laying down looking for buyers, we use them for renters. As we are doing the training, when it's time for them to go on the practical, we now give them work-based learning. where as they are learning, they are acquiring the experience, they are seeing the practical application of knowledge, solving real life problems.
Okay, but let's look at it from another angle right now. I see artisans and craftsmen who don't really have certification, and they are involved in all of this heavy duty construction movement and every other thing. How do you integrate all of them into the formal sector so that way we can get like a blend and where they can get certified and their skills can be honed, not just about the graduates in school, but also those who could not really get into the university or the polytechnics?
Well, it's very easy, like I posited early on that, you see, what we just require of you is be able to read and write so that you could read the instructions, the informations on the dashboard of the machinery.
Okay.
Once that is in place, all we need to do, even though you are already an operator, even though you are already a plumber, an industrial painter, all what we do is put you through, we formalize your skills. We acknowledge, we put you through a kind of, assessment to evaluate your skill, your skill set. From there we take it up. That assessment will give us an insight into your strength and weakness. From there, we fill in the gap by, okay, you know how to operate this machine just to do the job. You don't know how to, troubleshoot. You don't know how to, ascertain the health of this machine before you even put it to work. So what do? We put them through the safety, the hazard associated with working with. First of all, before you come to this machine, there is what they call pre-operation inspection.
Okay.
Key off inspection and key on inspection. So this is how you'll be able to know if this machine is fit to do the job. Make sure all the vital parts of this machine are in good and ready to do this job. Also, make sure this machine has enough hydraulic. Make sure this machine have enough pressure, and the tires, everything about the machine is ready. Then your permit to work, most times they just think, it's just to get this machine and work. No, you must obtain a permit to work from the government.
Okay.
Because you don't know if there is a pipeline under where you want to excavate. You don't know if there is any other ground cable where you want to work. So you must
due diligence.
Due diligence. Thank you. Yeah. Due diligence. So once that is done, you see that they are always eager to imbibe, even for the professionally trained operators. We also have a license. We provide license for them that they need to renew every 3 years. So there is a refresher training. Okay. So from that refresher training, we update them on new developments. So it's not just we update their curriculum every 3 years.
Okay, so that way you actually are in line with some global best practices, things change and evolve. Okay, but let's still go back to Tvet, in schools and all of that. I know one of the issues will be that of funding, because it's not just like your regular education, because it involves some hands-on, knowledge and lots of equipment to work with and all of that. How do we bring in public-private and partnership in terms of financing? Because I used to have a board, NBTE, National Board for Technical Education. I don't know how or where that is right now and how it is still playing in the Tvet industry.
We also have Industrial Training Fund.
Yes, ITF. So there have been all of these agencies and institutions over time, but how do we, but something I believe when the private sector comes into a public business or public institutions, there'll be some sort of finesse and it will be done better. So how do we ensure some sort of a collaboration between the public and the private?
It's actually a huge opportunity for synergy and huge opportunity for profit making. It's very huge. Look at Dangote Refinery. The first thing Dangote did was to set up a skill institute. Are you aware of that?
No, that's news to me.
Yes. All right. So they set up a skill institute because they know the problem they will face in the future is competency, manpower. Yeah. You understand? So they need that in the board immediately. So you see, if the private sector comes on board, there is huge opportunity for them to make good money for their decision.
Yeah.
You understand? Because the Tvet industry is capital intensive because of the different machineries that are involved. You understand? So if they come on board, invest in this machinery, perhaps the government to have a role to play by, first of all, giving tax breaks to these companies. These days, to import any machine, to pay the duties is like triple what it used to be when we started Equilog.
I wonder how businesses are even surviving.
So, looking at the taxation, where you have to pay the federal government, you pay the FIRS, you have to pay another LIRS, the multiple taxation, and you are paying duties to, so it's not really friendly for investors. So the government, if they are serious about curbing youth unemployment through Tvet, through agricultural mechanization, there has to be a lot of incentives. For instance, look at this the government agency that registers Tvet, for instance. Do you know that for you to register your Tvet institute costs, just registration alone is about 25 billion naira?
Oh, wow.
So that alone is not encouraging. Now, how many of these Tvet institutes in Nigeria are well documented? They are not well acknowledged. They are not, supported. Go to, say, Equilog wants to go take a loan from a commercial bank, for instance, you need a collateral. And that collateral have to be like 2 times or even 3 times of the amount you want to, obtain. So we don't even look that way. So it's, in spite of all these bottlenecks, I still tell you, Tvet has been one of the reasons why we are in business.
All right. I'm also a very big thank you to you, Ibrahim, for your time, because there's a whole lot to explore in terms of technical, vocational education, and of course the construction industry, because it's not something we could just exhaust in one time. But then, like you said, there's so much to be made if the right players do what is right, and that way they can actually stay in business. For one last question now for you, for someone who is in your line of business and they feel there's no way out and they are still struggling, now what would that advice be?
I don't get that question.
Someone who is still struggling in business because of the economic situation, maybe in the construction industry, and they are trying to wriggle out of it, what advice would you give that businessman?
I think consistency. Consistency, then let your value, let what you are offering align with the market need. The market needs, Yes. If you are not getting market validation, you need to go into the industry and find out the pain points. All right. Once you understand the pain point, you devise your own solution to, provide your services in that direction. You definitely, that is what is, like I said, keeping us in business. Today, because we have partnership with the Skill Development Council of Canada that provide accreditation and certification. So both the individuals who obtain these skills, they know that anywhere they go in the globe, they have relevance, they have a skill to offer, and this skill has a global appeal. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Ibrahim and Iyama, CEO of Equilog, for your time on the show today. Thank you so much. All right. Technical and vocational education is essential for Nigeria's economic future, especially for industries like construction, where skilled manpower is critical. While progress has been made, it's clear that there's still a whole work to be done. We need better collaboration between training institutions like Equilog and industries, stronger investment in modern equipment, and a mindset shift among young people to see Tvet as a path to opportunity, not a fallback option. A big thank you to you once again, Ibrahim, and of course, thank you our viewers for staying with us. That's the size of the show for today. My name is Justin Academy. Let's keep the conversation going. Follow us on social media and stay tuned for more impactful discussions. See you again next time. Bye for now.